Thank you very much. Welcome all. Thank you for attending the session today. Hope you're enjoying the previous sessions today. So what I'm going to take you through is a little bit of a journey. So really, it's how would it look if you were to study with Training Link. So just for reference, we are a distance learning provider, and I am a tutor. So I teach levels 3 and 4. And we specialise in, as I say, distance learning. So really the plan is to take you through how would it look if you were studying with us. So it's a bit of a journey, and like I say, our sort of secrets to success, which is why I'm in this mystical lighting, as it were. So if anyone's got any questions, obviously please do ask, and I will pick those up at the end. But I hope you enjoy the session, and let's make a start. So firstly, let's just talk about distance learning. So for those, some of you may already be distance learning, some of you may not be. So for me, distance learning is ultimate in flexibility, in being able to study, as demonstrated by this graphic on screen right now. That's actually me without this lighting. So really, for distance learning, it allows you to study at your own pace. That is the sort of big benefit of distance learning. So if you want to study as quicker than what you would necessarily on a scheduled college program, for example, distance learning allows you to do that. So the other side to that is, if you're obviously really busy during the week, which I know a lot of people are, if you're working full time or you've got childcare commitments, it may be that you can only study at the weekend. And again, what distance learning allows you to do is to be able to do that because it fits around your schedule. Okay, and the other side of it is, for some people, again, obviously, if you work shifts, for example, I know that there's a lot of people who are studying AAT who might not necessarily work in accounts right now, but obviously have aspirations to do so. So it may be that you work shifts, or again, you've got childcare commitments, and you can't study at the same times every single day. And that might change every single week. And again, distance learning gives you that flexibility to be able to do that, because you'll be studying at your own pace. And then the last thing, and it's sort of to, I would say, debunk a myth to a certain extent, which is that for distance learning, I think people have this idea that you almost get given a book and then off you go, that's it. Okay, for distance learning, you've got an absolute range of resources, and I'll be talking about those in detail later on. You do have a number of resources to help you learn, whether that be written material, whether it be videos, whether it be assessments or mock exams. So there's a multitude of resources that you can use to be able to help you learn. So even if you're not, necessarily you don't want to just look at the book, you are absolutely able to do use other methods in order to study. Okay, so let's say you sign up with us. How would that look? So you get 3 things. So first off, you get a welcome email. So our admin team will introduce themselves to you, and you'll get a dedicated tutor. So that would be either myself or my colleagues. And we will also email you to introduce ourselves and just let you know who to email or who to ring if you've got any questions. Say if you've got questions, whether that's with the material, with the course, with how to book exams, etc. We are obviously here to help. So you'll get that welcome email. You'll also be set up with an online profile. So that online profile basically gives you access to our online systems, and within there you'll get access to end of chapter assessments, you'll get access to videos, you'll get access to your mock exams, all of which we obviously also have access to, so we can see how you're getting on and get in touch with you if you feel that you need some help, etc. Okay, so it also means you can reference back to certain questions that you may have going through the material, and we know exactly how you've done, and it just speeds along that process so that we can help you a little bit quicker. Now, the other thing that we sort of, I would say, pride ourselves in is that we don't want to hold you back at all. Okay, so we want you to allow you to study at the pace that you want to study at. So that really starts from the point of sign up. So this process really is quite a fast process, because from the point at which you sign up, we want you to be able to get going as soon as possible. So as soon as you've signed up, we will get those welcome emails sent out. We will introduce ourselves, and your physical material will also be sent out to you. And it happens, as I say, really quickly so that you can get going as soon as possible. You will also get an online version of the textbook as well. So if you literally wanted to start studying straight away, you do have that option, as well as having the physical material. Okay, so how to study. So what is the best way of studying? Somewhat rhetorical question, because I can't actually hear your responses. But the truth is, there isn't one best method of study, because realistically, you want a range of methods to fill in all the different blanks. Okay, so you want to be able to use materials. So let's get these up. So we've got materials, videos, assessments, and tutor support. So let's look at these individually. So you want to have your textbooks, your materials. We can get as much information in there as possible to help you learn. You also want to have videos as well, so that you've got it from an auditory side, and you can get a tutor to obviously, as I say, myself or my colleague, explain topics in more detail. You also then need to have assessments to make sure that you can actually do or perform what you're learning. Okay, obviously it's all right working through and studying the theory, but you need to understand it and be able to do it to successfully pass your assessments. And then, obviously, if you do have questions, that's where the tutor support comes in, so that you've got that ability to get feedback, and get feedback, more importantly, quickly. Okay, and I'll come on to that quite shortly. So the truth is, in terms of how to study, you need a range of options, because just doing one method, it is doable, but it's probably not the most effective way of learning. Okay, so let's have a look at our materials and what we provide. So the first thing is books. So we write all our own material, and the reason why we do that is we write it in a way that is specific to distance learning. So we try and make it as understandable as possible. Obviously, we appreciate that you may be coming from a background with no accounting experience at all. So we want to make sure that it is written in a way that you can understand it and move forward as quickly as possible. So by writing all our own material, obviously we have control of that. Now, the way we sort of structure things is that we will have theory, and then we will follow that up with an example of how that is done. Okay, so putting into practice what you've just learned. We show you step by step how that's done. We will then follow that up with an activity, so that you get to have a go at it yourself to make sure that you can do it. We then have the videos, which are on our online system, and they're there to be really for any key topics to make sure that you properly understand them. So for the more complex topics, so let's think about, typical ones such as accruals and prepayments, ones that everyone struggles with, or some of the tax ones like VAT returns. We will have those videos to make sure that you understand those topics as an additional resource along with the textbooks and examples. Now, the next one is your assessments. Now, these are extremely useful. So what's important for us to be able to see as tutors is that you are understanding what you're learning, okay? And we can do that through assessments. So after every single chapter, you will be able to go onto your online portal and you will be able to take an assessment related to what you've just learned. And by doing that, that closes that loop and allows us to see and you to know that you've understood that particular topic. And if you're struggling, All you need to do, obviously, is get in touch with us, and we can help. And then last but not least, I was saying, this is the one where I say, I know it's come up a few times today, is the mock exams. So mock exams are an extremely useful tool, as I'm sure you guys already know, in order to be able to pass your real exams. So you will have access to a mock exam within the book and a mock exam within our online system that we, again, will get chance to view and provide you with feedback where necessary to basically get you in a position to take your real exam. Okay, fantastic. Moving on. So, tutor support, that's me. Okay, so you've got me and my colleague who are both tutors at Training Link. So we are here to obviously provide support, give you tips and tricks for passing your exam. These are obviously tailored based upon your own mock exam results. So when you complete our mock-on system, we will be able to provide you that feedback and sort of have a look, what areas do you need to work on before sitting your real exam. Okay. The other thing is response times. So I'd say we definitely pride ourselves on being quick to respond to queries. So obviously, as soon as they come into our boxes, we were straight on those. We both work full time. So we are quick to respond to any questions. Okay, marginal gains theory, because it's important to have something that sounds fancy within a slideshow. So some of you may have heard of marginal gains, some of you may have not. So marginal gains theory is just definitely something that's been spoken about a lot by, Apple, the Sky cycling team, they went on about quite a bit as well. Now, learning's been around for a long time. As a race, we've been learning for a long time. And although there might not necessarily be anything brand new that is coming up that's revolutionary, this is something that I think we as a business have really tried to sort of stick to, which is if you try and make every little part better, it makes a huge difference overall. So what we will do is we will look at every aspect of the course, from the study material, the examples, the activities, the assessments, the mock exams, our abilities as tutors. And we know that if we strive for the best in every single one of those areas, it comes together to make a huge difference. Okay, and that is what your marginal gains theory is. There is nothing absolutely revolutionary in learning as it stands. AI might change that. However, for now, this is where we're at. And that is something that we've really tried to employ across the board for all our resources and our approach. Okay. Now, what does that actually add up to? Success. Okay, so if you do take a look at any point at our reviews on FIFO or Trustpilot, have a read through them and have a look what previous students or current students have said. Because obviously it's all right me just saying it. I work here. It's good to get views from actual students to see how they've got on. Okay, and you can have a look through those, and really it will sort of solidify what I've been saying, or hopefully on this session. Okay, fantastic. Right. Okay, so the last section then is just to talk about an offer that we are running. So at the minute, we are assuming, obviously, a lot of you are going to either be signed up to level 2, 3, and level 4 on here. We are running some offers. So we're currently running a 10% off offer. So you can see the prices on screen now. Okay, so if you use the code SAVE10, that will save 10% off your course. And just be aware as well that those course prices do include the AAT registration as well. As you can see there, that offer expires on the 1st of February. Okay, brilliant. Okay, I think that covers everything within the session. Do we have any questions?
Thank you so much, Will. That was great. I really like what you said about marginal gains theory as well. Just in terms of not being so overwhelming and breaking it down. It's a real nice way to use it
I
into
think
it.
you need to. I think, especially from a student perspective, obviously I've been a student, everyone who works here has been a student as well. So we know, we know what students are looking for, and we do listen to feedback, and we're constantly updating to make stuff as good as possible. It's never a case of, we're at this stage now, great. We will still always look to improve if there's an area that we can see that's getting a slight lower percentage, or we're looking at the examiner's reports to see, right, what are weaker areas? What's the feedback? How do we sort of fill those gaps?
Yeah, that's brilliant. And Will, I hear you're a famous face on our Facebook Lives. You've done some of those before with us.
Done a few Facebook Lives, few to come as well. I feel like I've got a regular slot at the moment. It's like a monthly thing.
That's great to hear. Let's get into the questions because we do have some, and I want to keep to time. A couple of questions on your mock exams,
Okay.
two kinds of related. So Alexander would like to know how many mock exams are available. And then we also had a bit going in the chat that was asking about whether they can buy more mock exams apart from the ones that you mentioned in the exam kit.
Okay, so you will get a mock exam within the study text, so that's one, and you will get a mock exam on the online assessment. So we provide 2 mock exams, and as I'm sure they will already know, you get 2 mock exams on the AAT website. Now, from my perspective, I think mock exams are brilliant. Okay, I think they are an absolutely fantastic resource. I would always recommend, however, caution. Okay, and that is because what I wouldn't want to see somebody doing is doing mock exam after mock exam after mock exam. I would much prefer someone to really do the mock and focus on the areas that need some improvement than immediately moving on to the next mock exam, because you want to be using them in the most effective manner. So it's all right, that's 4 mocks that are available. But what I would say is if you're getting to the 4th mock and still really struggling, we would really, really want to address why have the first 3 not been enough to almost put you in a position on the 4th one to be in a really, really strong place. So although I would definitely use mock exams as part of revision, but I would make sure you're in a place before you sit the mock exam that you are going into that mock almost not knowing, but having a great chance of passing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay. And the way we do that, you see, is by having the assessments after every chapter. We already know that you can do each subject before you get to the mock. So the mock is there as a final test.
I can see the emojis flying up on the screen to that answer, so I think people are appreciating that. I'm going to jump around a little bit. We've actually got a couple of questions in relation to the special offers, which is on the screen now that you mentioned. What if a student doesn't need the registration fee covered, say if they've registered with AAT already and then is looking for a training provider?
Okay, I would have to defer to a colleague on that one. I'm the tutor.
I'm sure we can work something out.
I'm sure something can be worked out. Absolutely, I'm sure there is something that can be worked out on that one. So absolutely. What I would say is if they email in to our admin team, they will be able to pick that up, and I'm sure that there is something that could be worked out on that.
Brilliant. We can follow up with that as well in some post communications just to confirm that for you guys.
I am getting a message through actually now. Quick I promised quick responses. So what we would do is we would remove the AAT registration fee as part of that cost. So we would just take that off the cost.
I can see your colleagues actually on here. Hi, Mark. He's just provided that answer to us as well. Thank you very much. Okay, I know we're going to be running out of time. So there was a couple of questions I was actually really interested in related to the international element. So we've had Becky. I know my Kadia's got back to Becky, but I thought everyone might be interested in this. I noticed AAT is international. Does that mean the accounting system is the same worldwide? And does it mean you can work everywhere once you are qualified? Just to link it slightly, because I think it's another element that people might be asking on, we have someone from that's currently with the Gibraltar University studying, and they are interested about what kind of options you offer for someone that lives internationally. So sorry, I'm linking two questions there. I hope that isn't too confusing.
They are two fun questions, those as well. So AAT does use IFRS and IAS, which is international. So it's the international standards. So it's not UK GAAP that they run under. So what you're learning is relevant worldwide. So we're using the worldwide standards. So that hopefully helps to answer that. In terms of recognition of AAT globally, if you go onto the AAT website, it does show you where you can study AAT around the world and which countries it's recognised in. So you will be able to get that information from the AAT website.
Brilliant.
And then what was the next one?
So I was just saying that we have a student that's currently in Gibraltar by the sounds of it, and they were just wondering what options you offer for students that are based internationally.
Okay, so you will have, so you would be able to purchase still, you can still buy the course, that's absolutely fine. And you will have access to all the online material. So it is still an option, but it would predominantly be an online offering. But you would still get the same tutor support, the assessments, the mock exams, etc.
We're now getting loads of questions, so we might, apologies guys, we might need to follow up on some of these questions after, because I can see everyone is getting engaged now. We're getting into the detail. One more question, Will, before we wrap up from your side. I think it's a really good question. Is it a limited access in terms of time that students have to complete the course and get the resources available from you?
So there is a course length, yes, and it does vary from level 2, 3, and 4. However, they are, I would say, generous because we know that they can definitely be completed in that timeline. I think the other side of that is if you needed to put your studies on hold as well, we again can accommodate that. As long as you keep that open line of communication with us, we will obviously be, we appreciate life gets in the way. We absolutely appreciate that. So if something happened, even unexpected or expected, and as long as you let us know, we can put the course on hold and then it can be picked up at a later date if that's what's needed. The course timelines do vary. So obviously I specialise mainly in level 4, and you get 2 years to complete your level 4. But as I said, which like I say is more than enough time, but if you needed to put that on hold, that's absolutely fine.
Brilliant. Okay, I am going to ask one more question and then
that's absolutely fine.
I'll pass back to you to wrap up. And this might be another question for your colleagues, but we have a student here that would like to know if you have any offers for the level 2.
Okay, so we can do. So I'm sure we can do. I know again we can include the registration, but I would probably be better getting that off my colleague for the level 2 because I don't want to promise anything that I can't.
We will do some follow-up activity for that one then and confirm those offers. Okay, Will, that's all the questions for me.
No problem at all. Obviously, again, if you hop onto our website and email or jump on the live chat with our admin team, they will definitely be able to answer that straight away for you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Will. Did you have any closing comments or anything you'd like to add?
Thank you very much for attending the session, and please if there is anything else, obviously, please do ping it through to us. I'd be more than happy to come back to anyone if you email through to us. But thank you for attending, and hopefully you have found it really useful.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Hi there, and thank you for watching the video. If you're new here and passionate about everything accounting, then don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow. We're proud to deliver the best standard of support to our students. We have bespoke study materials, exclusive AAT unit videos, award-winning tutors, and so much more. Make sure to follow us on our social platforms to stay up to date with what we're working on. Thank you.